Sex. 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 Whew, I wasn't sure I'd be able to last until the gong, but luckily, there's a pill for that.
Hi, welcome to our review of sexual frustration. I know it's difficult, but I'm going to have to ask you guys to stop having sex for a minute and pay attention to what I'm saying. Come on, you guys. You girls. You guy and a girl. You guy and two girls, girl and two guys. You two asexuals just having a cup of tea together. You guy, you girl, and sentient gas. A lot of people are reluctant to discuss sexual frustration for fear that it'll get turned around to the idea that they're only discussing or reviewing it because they themselves are immensely sexually frustrated. Because, you know, not having sex when you want to have sex isn't something that happens to everybody multiple times over the course of their life. I bet even porn stars get caught out now and again during the off-season. Porn's like football, right? I'm not really good at my sports. Or my porn. Personally, I think the scenario in which you're forever fucking is the bizarre one. Like, it's kind of hard to combine sex with a lot of other activities, like buying your groceries, writing an essay, drinking a cup of coffee, fending off a mugger, discovering America, hugging your mom. Ew. The downsides of sexual frustration are pretty well known. You're not having orgasms when you want to be having them. You're frustrated, depressed, cursing under your breath at couples whenever they walk by, and finding it increasingly difficult not to complain on the internet. But sexual frustration is a powerful energy, and like most energies, it can be redirected towards something positive, like science. For example, most of us are aware of the fact that the vibrator/portable back massager was invented in direct response to the sexual frustration of Victorian women. But what not a lot of people know is that the great inventor Nikola Tesla chose to be celibate and believed that his lack of sexual activity actually helped fuel his amazing inventions. Yes, when Thomas Edison wasn't ripping him off, Nikola Tesla was inventing things like some kind of non-sexual dynamo. Frustration is often the catalyst for action, and by living the celibate lifestyle while being a scientific heartthrob, Tesla kept himself a healthy reserve of sexual frustration to fuel his efforts. Between that and the motivation of understandably hating another inventor, it's little surprise that Tesla achieved so much brilliance in just one lifetime. Though, I imagine the combination of these two things, sexual frustration and hatred, must have led to some pretty unusual dreams. That being said, like most forms of energy, sexual frustration can also be directed into really negative uses. It's no secret that sexual frustration can lead to people committing all kinds of unseemly acts, and not just the ones you'd assume. Mid-90s domestic terrorist Timothy McVeigh, who was responsible for the Oklahoma City bombing, was frustrated about a lot of things in his life before he did that, including his sex life. In his post-military pre-bombing years, Timothy McVeigh was very nervous around women. At a day job, he asked out one of his co-workers and was rejected, which led to him growing very angry and frustrated about his ability to get a girlfriend. So, logically, he decided to take up obsessive gambling instead. As it so often does, gambling led to terrible debt and further bad life decisions, as well as feelings of worthlessness and persecution. Eventually, the government came around and said to Timothy, "By the way, we overpaid you while you were in the army. You owe us $1,000 for your time served." Strangely, this did nothing for Timothy McVeigh's anti-government feelings. While it's nice to think that getting Timothy McVeigh laid would have prevented the Oklahoma City bombing, obviously someone willing to do something that terrible had a lot more crappy stuff going on between their ears than just sexual frustration. For example, years after the fact, friends of his revealed that McVeigh often talked about how he thought that while he was in the army had put microchips in his butt cheek so they could keep track of him at all times. But Jesus, wouldn't it be cool if all you had to do to prevent a historical tragedy would be to have sex with a maniac? Like, instead of going back in time to kill Hitler and a bunch of other horrible guys, you just went back in time and got them hella laid? I would totally watch that movie and play the video game. Sorry, Hollywood, this one's mine. In the final analysis, the negatives of sexual frustration far outweigh the positives. So I'd say the next time you're in the store and if you see some sexual frustration on the shelf, maybe get some Cheerios instead. Oh, and before I go, I just would like to ask all of you a little favor. I know this video has the letters SEX in the title, but could you please try and keep the comments classy? You know, rein in your baser urges, and if you absolutely can't do that, then please just, I don't know, type in an ASCII penis like this one, just type that in, nothing else, and that way us decent folk on the internet will know you're one of those no good nicks. Oh! Oh, God, it really does sting when you get a tilde in your eye. Girls always told me, but I didn't believe them. Oh! Ah! Cut. Anyways.
Tilda Swinton's cousin is, of course, Ampersand Cooper. Sometimes they like to hang out with Asterisks, the punctual Gallic barbarian, and sometimes, oh, I can't finish this joke. I'm too distracted by the haunting image of Oliver staring at his keyboard, desperately trying to think of more puns. I'd say they're the lowest form of humor, but really we all know that's neoconservative imitations of The Daily Show.
Reviewing sexual frustration because they're not getting any puberty. All right, do that again. That being said, like most forms of energy, negative fucking me in the face, and not just the ones you'd expect. Mid-90s domestic terrorist and all-star superboy, playboy, fuck, hugging your mom. Ew. Cut. All right. Fuck, what the hell? I made a video about this.